Well, hello there, how is everyone? I hope you're all well on this fabulous Monday. Yeah, that's right, a new week and no doubt new problems. At the moment, there's nothing, but there's a lot of stuff that I feel is going to be happening today and later on in the week. Just feel it in my bones. But like I say, you're looking amazing. And we've got some meat and potatoes to get into as we talk about kind of expanded on what we spoke about yesterday with respect of, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Might have been the day before. Anyway, the media and this cameras in the courtroom. So the documentation come out that Bryan Kohberger and his team are looking to have cameras removed from the court proceedings moving forward. So that is everything. Until this is done, until this is dusted, no cameras. And that is going to shoot a lot of people in the arse with regards of what they feel Bryan Kohberger is all about. Because I know that there are people out there who feel that this was all about the Bryan Kohberger show. You know, this was about him being better than everyone and wanting to make a spectacle of it. You know, we've sort of pitted him up, if you like, against the likes of Ted Bundy and wanting to have his day and for everyone to see just how great he is. So when he comes forward and he doesn't want the cameras in there and he wants to keep things behind closed doors, it does raise questions as to what is his motivation, what is his incentive to keep cameras out there. Because you could argue that if he fears that the trial is going to be unfair, unjust, then surely he would want this to be televised for everyone to see. You can't think that, well, I suppose some people could. You could just think that maybe he's guilty and he perhaps doesn't want the world to see his downfall, perhaps. He doesn't want his downfall to be broadcasted live. Who knows? But there is an alternative, and that is perhaps Bryan Kohberger is reliant upon certain people to come forward and say certain things. Perhaps he is aware of something bigger going on in the background. I know before you lot say, oh, here we go again, talking about the tinfoil hat stuff and the down rabbit holes, but I'm just trying to understand why Bryan Kohberger would not want cameras in the courtroom. And I feel that the only thing that makes sense to my methodical brain is that he fears that perhaps some people potentially wouldn't want to come forward and have their say and perhaps publicly throw certain people under the bus when they've got cameras in their face. Now, obviously, there's going to be media in there. There's going to be public in there. So there is going to be... This isn't going to be completely behind closed doors. I get that. There is going to be people in the public gallery. There's going to be people who are able to see it. But that is not the same as this being televised, being live. Because then certain other people may have access to what's going on in the courtroom and they could take action or retaliation quickly. Quicker than it would perhaps take if people have got to wait for this to come out later on. I don't know, and again, I'm just spitballing. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts. Why Bryan would not want cameras in the courtroom to have this, if indeed he is this narcissist. He is this person who is, I am brilliant, I am great, look at what I've done, and watch how I get away with it. Look how I manipulate the system and play it like a fiddle. Nobody's really going to see it. And for those who think that this is potentially about media bias, and I came out, I think it was yesterday, and said about how the media controls things. They film certain things, they manipulate it, they twist it, they make it fit their narrative, and they put videos out on it. It's not like that's not going to happen. It's not like you're not going to get News Nation, Dateline, all these other people reporting on what is going on and putting their spin on it. Because they will. They'll still be able to do that, and there will be nothing that could argue that. So that to me doesn't make sense. And my mentality, my thought process is surely Bryan knows that. Surely he knows that just because there's not going to be a live feed, that you're going to sever the ability for media to twist what is going on in the courtroom. I can't see it unless I'm missing something. Please let me know down below if indeed I am missing the bigger picture. But I just feel that for Bryan and his team to themselves want cameras removed, then they must feel that the removal of cameras will benefit them. And again, I just can't see how the removal will make it likely that the media will leave it alone or act and behave differently or not operate with bias in their hearts. I think that would actually be exacerbated by there being no camera, because they have full control on what they can put out and nothing. Like I say, there's no receipts. There's no receipts. All they have is, we are News Nation. What we say is fact, and so many people fall for it like a dog to a bone and gravy. But let me know down below, what are your thoughts and feelings? What benefit is there really for Bryan to not have cameras in the courtroom? And again, the biggest question of all is Bryan doing it because he feels with the cameras not there that people may speak, they may come forward, they may have something to say which they may not have done so if they knew that they were being filmed and live? Is there something bigger going on in the background? Are people around this case still living in some form of fear due to retaliation? We do know there's other stuff still going on in the background which haven't been brought to a conclusion, and there's still things around this case that make no sense. And what I mean by that is the Bryan Kohberger situation, and people can say this has nothing to do with it whatsoever and it is just coincidental. But ultimately, that is an ongoing investigation and it has not been brought to a conclusion. And if it was as straightforward as what they're trying to say, then why has that not been brought to a conclusion when we are, well, by the time this goes to court, it'll be a year down the line. And we also have Demetrius Robinson, Emma Bailey, and their quick and swift removal from process of incarceration after supplying or apparently supplying a youngster with narcotics that would result in his death. All bizarre stuff, all very, very valid questions. And again, we also have the question of whose DNA are the 3 unidentified male DNA samples that were taken from the scene, and again, they have not been concluded as to who they are. And I would like to know why the effort wasn't put into those samples that was apparently put into the sample that would eventually become Bryan's. Lots of questions, not many answers. Will we ever get the answers? Who knows? But it has made me curious, it has pricked my curiosity as to why Bryan wouldn't want to be on the stage with a camera if he is what so many people think, and it is the kind of the playwright of all this. He's the man. He's the man of the moment, man of the hour, and this is all what he's been leading up to. But he wants it done in the dark. It's got to benefit someone. How? We'll catch you all on the next one.